Hey everybody, just doing a quick little Bitcoin market update. It is the last day of Q1, March 31st, April 1st tomorrow, Q2 open. Watch the open, it's going to be important, that level especially. So, looking at the long short ratios, they are coming back down. They were hitting at about 2 to 1 earlier today and over the weekend. We've had some nice upside, and people are really quick to try and short this, which is good until we start gaining some levels. So we've done at least an interesting break of some local structure. Let's see if that plays out to actually see if we get a gain. Looking at some of the local liquidity points that I'm interested in here, give them a bit low time frame. We go on the 15. The big things I want to see here really are good step-ins of some liquidity points. I don't really see that yet. It's a bit early overall. There's some pressure above us to kind of force price down, and there's no real major order stepping in below us at all. So if we're going to see anything that's going to be interesting, you'll see if we actually hold the low here. If we start losing back below 82.5, we probably run the lows again just to test stuff because there just isn't a whole lot of resting limit orders. But there are things stacking above us to potentially push price lower. Looking across the board to the chart. So big things from the open today. Really bad weekend. Obviously, we all saw that failure coming in Saturday. I cannot stress enough the importance of these kind of cheeky closes when you do have 4 hours that break previous close lows. That's always the key to looking for some type of break of structure. So we got the low close, we got the bearish retest of the previous low, off a cliff she goes. And yeah, that's what we did all day Saturday. Sunday, really weak bounces, nothing really regained. Now the low that we're at here, 81.3, this is the low that must hold. If we don't hold that, I don't think we hold 80K. So the fact that we're stepping off now, we've made some new local highs, that's nice, but we're still kind of at this big inflection point where we want to see a gain back. Now, until we start gaining these levels back, it still technically is, we're breaking back above. We need to potentially do some higher lows. And if you look here, this little dark purple box, this is still resistance. There's still a resistance zone across the board. It's previous structure that we failed and then we are bearishly retesting. So it's still looking down on kind of like the local time frame. What can change that? So in general, we want to see some type of gain. What I would want to see is up here. Realistically, it's the March open 84.4, 84.3, 84.4. Starting to gain this stuff back starts to look a lot better for some type of retest of the high structure. Uh, Above us, yeah, there's a lot of short liquidations. This nice slanting structure that we built up last week. There's a lot of shorts basically starting from right around here, around 87K, 87.5, with good short liquidations. But for us to get up there, it's still a pretty big push. We want to see some higher lows and some regains. So locally, what are we seeing? Well, you're technically at resistance, right? That's still playing out. You're still underside retesting. That's still playing out. And you just made a new low, regardless as if you just pop the highs real quick. So for us to really get bullish on this, let's do some retest back at the lows and wipe out this resistance because it's even here on the 1 hour. And we want to see gains in March. If we start gaining March back, it's going to be hard to be really bearish, especially until we get retest back at the highs. Now, I think there still is some shortable structure up here. Obviously, there's a lot of resistance. But the big thing overall in like the local move, what I'm looking at here is, yeah, you're at resistance, you are gaining. So I want to see some kind of like reaccumulation to have a continuation up. The invalidation of some pullback here is really simple. We squeeze above and then we start looking to squeeze higher. So effectively you want to see price going like this. And what this is effectively stacking short liquidations at the same part as there was previous resistance, and then usually just pops through. And then you start talking about some retracements and some regains to potentially continue in the overall structure. So the big thing here is you're in this low range. You've lost from the weekend lows. The test here filled the CME gap from over the weekend. And we have some really important jobs data coming in. The one this week, the one thing I will say is April 2nd, tariffs from Trump tariffs, the reciprocal ones, they're slated to come into effect. So watch that. It's going to be a key driver. So just wait, watch it. If you're not already long from the low support here down in like 81.5, it'll be hard until you get regain stuff. Until then, you're at local resistance. Play the local ranges until you see some better changes in structure and see us do some higher lows or some higher highs followed by higher lows. So that's how we pump our way out of this thing. Until then, you do have priority down on the higher time frame, but some good closes here could definitely change some stuff. The big thing that we want to see is closes back above, 83.5. Even a daily close up here above this local resistance we then start looking at the weekly open as local floor structure to potentially continue. So daily closes, Q2 is opening up tomorrow as well. Let's see if we get something good out of it. Until then, take it easy. Catch you tomorrow.